This race proved that a driver's championship can either go to Norris or Piastri. It's so close at this point, and this can definitely go down all the way to Abu Dhabi. Welcome back to Apex Analysis. This weekend was a Hungarian GP, so let's get into it. This race was an amazing race, as it had a great mix of strategy and action. For context, Charles Leclerc took a surprising pole with Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris behind him. This qualifying was extremely special, as the gap between P1 and P10 was a little over just half a second. At the start of the race, Charles Leclerc kept his lead with Oscar Piastri behind him. Lando Norris tried to go for an overtake, but he was about to go into Piastri, so he had to slow down. This made him lose 2 positions to George Russell and Fernando Alonso. In the beginning stages of the race, Charles Leclerc had a decent lead over Oscar Piastri. Lando Norris was trying to get his positions back to move up to P3, and Max Verstappen was trying to go up the field as he started in P8. Most drivers were on a 2-stop strategy, including Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen decided to pit extremely early, but he ended up pitting right into traffic, which slowed him down for the rest of the race. Later on, Oscar Piastri also pitted to attempt to undercut Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc reacted beautifully, pitting a lap later and keeping his lead. Lando Norris decided to do something different and do a 1-stop strategy instead, so he pitted near the middle of the race. After Lando Norris pitted, Charles Leclerc was back in the lead with Oscar Piastri behind him and Lando Norris winning comfortably in third. As Leclerc and Piastri's second stint ended, Charles Leclerc went into the pits before Piastri this time. This is because he was complaining that Ferrari made a decision with his car which would make him not win the race. Commentators and spectators were extremely confused by this, as he had a comfortable lead out front. Oscar Piastri then pitted a few laps after Charles Leclerc, and all of a sudden immediately overtook him after his pit stop. Viewers started to realize that Charles Leclerc was going a lot more slowly, and Leclerc started complaining even more and said that they wouldn't even be on the podium because of this. Charles Leclerc was unfortunately right about not getting a podium, as George Russell was coming behind him. As George Russell went for the attack into turn 1, Charles Leclerc moved under braking to cover him off and stayed ahead for this lap. George was complaining on the radio, saying that Leclerc moved under braking and it was too dangerous as a defense. On the next lap, George tried again down into turn 1. Charles Leclerc moved even more under braking to cover him off, but George Russell was too quick this time and got ahead of Charles Leclerc. Due to this dangerous driving, Charles Leclerc got a 5-second penalty and 1 penalty point on his super license. Since Lando Norris was on the 1-stop, he was quite ahead for some time, but he had to conserve his tires as he only had 2 stints. Oscar Piastri was catching up quick within the last 10 laps, and people knew that Piastri would overtake Lando Norris for the win. In the last few laps, Oscar Piastri was getting closer and closer, but it looked more and more likely that Lando Norris could have a win if he defended well. On lap 69, at the first corner, Oscar Piastri went from way deep down into turn 1 to try to overtake Lando Norris. He locked up and lost a lot of time. He locked up because he was way too far back, and if he would have kept going, he probably would have hit Lando Norris. He took this avoiding action because McLaren has a set of rules which say that each driver can fight as hard as they want as long as they don't collide. Because of this mistake, Lando Norris had more breathing room on the final lap. In the end, Lando Norris took a great victory to close down the championship deficit to only 9 points. Oscar Piastri got P2, and George Russell finished off the podium in P3. So that was it for the race recap. Here are a couple of winners and losers from this weekend. Our first winner is McLaren as a whole team. They had a great race and got yet another 1-2. Their championship lead in the Constructors is so far ahead of Ferrari now, they should be easing through the rest of the season. Both drivers should also be happy as Lando Norris closed the gap and Oscar Piastri also had a decent race, and they're both looking forward to the Netherlands. Another winner this weekend was George Russell as he got his first podium since his win in Canada. Another winner was Aston Martin as a whole team, as Fernando Alonso and Stroll got P5 and P7 respectively. This was a huge turnaround from Spa, where they scored no points. Our final winner from this list is Gabriel Bortoleto, as he scored yet another points finish and is showing great potential for his future. Now here are a couple of losers from this weekend. Our first loser was unfortunately Ferrari. Charles Leclerc was complaining a lot about the decision they made pre-race, which slowed him down a lot. He could have been on for a great podium finish and maybe even a win if this didn't happen. Lewis Hamilton has also been struggling in 2 consecutive qualifyings now, and this means that he can't score enough points. Hopefully Ferrari can turn this around just in time for the Netherlands. Another loser this weekend was Max Verstappen. He got a P9 finish, which was really bad. His strategy also wasn't great, and his car is just not strong enough to go to the front of the grid anymore. Our final loser is Pierre Gasly, as he didn't have a great race this weekend, and he got many penalties which sent him to the back of the race. This is bad for Alpine, as Franco Colapinto isn't able to get points as consistently as Pierre, so if Pierre is not scoring, Alpine is going to go down in the constructor standings. So that's it for the Hungarian GP. If you made it this far, be sure to comment who you think is going to win the 2025 Drivers' Championship after this race, and be sure to like and subscribe. See you in the Netherlands.